Psalm 23, starting in verse 1. The Lord is my shepherd. Now, that sounds for me, doesn't it? Sound like he's into me. He's going to lead me the way. I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing there's not a lot of sheep herders in here, but ultimately, the shepherd watches over the sheep. Here's where we go to eat. Here's where we go to sleep. His job is to take care of the sheep. His job, in essence, is the sheep. That's his job. That's what he does. That's what he is about. And so the Lord is my shepherd. So what's the Lord about? The Lord is about me. The Lord is for me. The Lord is after me. The Lord is watching over me. It's in the text. Now let's keep going. I shall not want. What a great gift that line is. I won't be in want. The deepest needs of my heart and my soul will be satisfied in my shepherd. Let's keep going. He makes me, I love that, he makes me lie down in green pastures. So you can lie down or you can be made to lie down. All right, don't feather Jesus' hair, all right? You'll bow or you'll bow. All right, let's keep going. He makes me lie down in green pastures. Listen to this. He leads me beside still waters. That's peace. He brings us into peace. And watch this. He restores my soul. And he leads me in paths of righteousness. So now this sounds like God is really into me. I mean, he's leading me beside still water. I mean, come on, who does that if they're not into you? He's leading me in the paths of righteousness. But look at why. Look at the motivation in God's heart for all of this shepherding and reviving and restoring. He leads me in paths of righteousness for what reason? For his name's sake. So God's motivation behind his shepherding you, his provision for you, his love for you, his passion about you, really the motive in all of that isn't that you're great, it's that he's great. So the motivation is his glory, his name, his renown. And this is what you're going to see over and over and over again in the Bible in a way that God does not feel need to apologize for. Let me show you what I mean here. Through all of this, I know this idea that God isn't about you, God is about God, kind of jostles our heart a little bit. Because everything in our culture actually is preaching the exact opposite. Everything in our culture is you deserve it and it's for you and this should happen. If it doesn't happen for you in this way, you have the right to be angry about that. And everything in our culture says you're the man. Everything in our culture is you are intrinsically valuable. You are varsity. That's what you are. You're not JV. In fact, if someone tells you you're JV, all right, that's a slap in your spectacularly unique and beautiful face. So it jostles us a bit because nobody is saying that. Unfortunately, it doesn't get preached very much either. Fortunately, it doesn't get preached very much either. So let me show you what I mean by this. In Isaiah 43, you just stay there where you are. It says that God created us for his glory. In Isaiah 49, that God called Israel for his glory. In Psalm 106, that God rescued Israel from Egypt for his glory. That God raised up Pharaoh to show his power and glorify his name. That's Romans 9, very unpopular chapter. God defeated Pharaoh at the Red Sea to show his glory. God spared Israel in the wilderness for the glory of his name. That's Ezekiel 20. God gave Israel victory in Canaan for the glory of his name. Why did he drive out that people? In fact, he tells Israel something we need to remember. He literally comes to Israel and goes, I'm not driving them out because you guys are awesome. You are a stiff-necked, rebellious people. I'm driving them out because I'm awesome. Let me keep going. I could stop. I got time. I'm on a clicker here. All right. God gave Israel victory in Canaan for the glory of his name. That's 2 Samuel 7. 1 Samuel 12. God did not cast away his people for the glory of his name. Go ahead and tuck that one in. We'll come back. All right. He does not throw his people away for the glory of his name. We'll come back. All right. In Ezekiel 36, God restored Israel from exile for the glory of his name. John 7:18, Jesus sought the glory of his Father in all that he did. In Matthew 5:16 and 1 Peter 2:12, we see that Jesus tells us to do good works for the glory of his name. All right, I'll keep going. Some of you are still skeptical, okay? In John 14, Jesus said that he answers prayer that God may be glorified. In John 12 and John 17, Jesus endures his final hours of suffering for the glory of God. In Romans 3, 25 through 26, God gave his son to vindicate the glory of his righteousness. Do you understand that one? John 16, 14, the ministry of the Holy Spirit is to glorify the Son of God. Why do you have the Holy Spirit? To glorify the Son of God. All right. God instructs us honestly to do everything for the glory of God. Have you ever tried to implement 1 Corinthians 10:31? Whether you eat or drink or whatever you do all things to the glory of God? You ever thought about how to do that? Like, how do you eat breakfast to the glory of God? How do you drive your car to the glory of God? This is the command. Right? It's not a suggestion. Look, hey guys, if you get a chance, try to do everything to glorify me. It's not a suggestion. Do everything for my glory. Couple more. God tells us to serve in a way that will glorify him. That's 1 Peter 4. Jesus is coming again for the glory of God. That's 2 Thessalonians chapter 1. Jesus' ultimate aim for us is that we see and enjoy his glory. That's John 17. Habakkuk chapter 2, spectacular, that the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord like the waters cover the seas. I don't know if you've been out in the sea, but there's water everywhere. I don't know if you've paid attention like that, but everywhere on the sea, there's water. And Habakkuk in chapter 2 says the glory of God is going to do this. It's going to cover the earth like the waters cover the sea. And that we put our hope there. We put our satisfaction there. Everything that happens will redound to the glory of God. That's Romans chapter 11. That's a hard one for people. Everything will redound to the glory of God. And in the New Jerusalem, the glory of God replaces the sun. Man, if you chew on that one for a little while, that's Revelation 21, 23. If you chew on that, think of all that the sun does for us. Without it, there is no life. But Jesus says, when I make all things new, we don't need that gaseous ball anymore. I got it. I'll handle it. I'll be your light. I'll make it grow. I'll make you warm. I'll make you what the sun does, I will do. And that's what you see. Now flip over to Ephesians chapter 1. Ephesians chapter 1. Now, what you see in the Bible is this is from Genesis to Revelation, the story of the Bible, that God, for the glory of his name, is reconciling and reclaiming all things to himself. So this is what you've got to get. I want to try to help you here with something that's pretty big, pretty epic. All right, so look right at me. The Bible's not about you. Bible's about Jesus. See, there's two ways to kind of look at it. There's some people that go, this Bible's the roadmap to life. Now, I understand what they're saying. So if you've heard that from your guy, great. This is in some ways a roadmap of what we should do, where we should go. But ultimately, you can't call it the roadmap to life. All right, now, I want to be straight. There's some maps. There are some maps. Like right here, I've got Paul's first missionary journey. And then I believe that's the Temple Mount. And then this is just... it's the Middle East today. So there are maps back there, but ultimately, it's not the roadmap to life. And if you think that way, you'll read the Bible wrong. What you'll do is here's what you'll keep infusing yourself into the stories of the Bible like you're the hero. And this happens all the time. All right, so I want to be straight. I love you enough to be straight. You're not David. All right? Your trouble in life is not Goliath. And if that's true, you're in a lot of trouble, bro, because you miss. You fling your stones and you miss, and Goliath's still there, and now what? Well, I had 5. You'll miss all 5. So if you view the scriptures through that lens, that really all the superheroes in the Bible are actually you, then man, you put a weight on your shoulders that, listen to me, you will not be able to bear. Jesus is the greater David. Jesus is the greater Moses. Jesus is the greater Abraham. It's the whole point of the book of Hebrews. That Jesus is the greater than. So if you want to do this, you want to dig in. So that means Jesus is going to be David. Goliath is going to be, and this is all overstatement. David's a historical figure, all right? Jesus is going to be David in this shadow. Goliath is going to be sin and death. Who's that make you? And it doesn't make you the Israelites in the corner going, he's going to kill all of us. That's exactly who you are. All right, so let's make sure we're playing the right part in the story.